Hey everyone, Ryan here at MandRproductions, and welcome to Ask MandR episode 216, the series where I answer your questions. If you have a question you want to answer on next week's episode and you're new around here, all you have to do is leave a comment in the comments section below on the most recent Ask MandR, and there's a chance I'll pick it for the next episode. Anyway, this episode is sponsored by Manscaped, so big shout out to them, and we'll talk more about them later. Our first question comes from Multiverse, says, are you buying the LEGO Star Wars game, and are you going to do a walkthrough? So I originally pre-ordered the game about 2 years ago, and I have since canceled my pre-order because when I pre-ordered that game, I had a PlayStation 4, and then I canceled my pre-order because I got a PlayStation 5, and now I'm actually going to end up playing it on PC and recording all my stuff on PC for that. So yes, I will be buying and playing it. I'm actually probably going to buy 2 copies because I also do need a physical PS5 copy just so I can get the LEGO Star Wars Luke Skywalker minifigure, not necessarily because I plan to play it on PS5, but I will be playing it on my MandR Games YouTube channel, and I'm very excited for the possibilities for that. So if you want to check out that content, that is going to be on the MandR Games channel. It will not be on this channel. This next question from Hello Me, I had originally replied to a few days ago and told him I would answer his question in my video, and then he went and edited his question. As you can see, it says edited, so I don't necessarily appreciate that. However, I will answer it anyway because I think it's important to talk about. It's something I wanted to talk about anyway. I had even considered making this kind of its own video, but he says, why do you complain about LEGO sets before they are even officially revealed? I know it brings in more clicks, but I would rather get a fair assessment for LEGO products. So we're going to work backwards on this one. So first off, I would rather get a fair assessment on LEGO products. I have 2 things to this. I think I give a fair assessment on LEGO products. It's my assessment of what I see. I give my true and honest opinion every time. I have biases just like everyone else has biases. I think it's pretty obvious that there's no such thing as an unbiased opinion, although for some reason some people seem to look for that. You can look at a picture the same I look at a picture and come to your own conclusion. But that being said, the true fair assessment of a LEGO set, I guess, in that sense, comes in the review. When I review a set, that is like me talking about the set. It's in my hands. It's the most fair assessment I guess I can give based on what I'm experiencing because I'm physically experiencing the thing. I bought the thing, I'm holding the thing, I'm reviewing the thing. That is going to be the most fair assessment of a thing you can get from me. That's the way I look at it. So if you want that fair assessment, if for whatever reason you don't care to hear me talk about pictures, then the review is definitely going to be where you're going to want to be. Anyway, why do we talk about sets? Or you say complain, but the fact is I talk about them. I say good things and I say bad things. It goes both ways. I want to love LEGO Star Wars just as much as anyone. If I see something I don't like, I'm going to say I don't like it. I know that's a crazy concept. I know a lot of other LEGO YouTubers that are sponsored by LEGO won't do that. They will specifically stray away from saying things that might hurt their relationship with LEGO, and I understand why. I could look at a person like me and be like, oh, I'd be scared for that to happen to me because I don't quite have the same, net to fall back onto, and like I said, I get it, but just know that, that's there. There is a relationship there that they have to protect, or that they want to protect. I guess they don't have to, right? But the point is, I talk about them, and I say good things, and I say bad things. So I make videos about rumors. That's before there's even a picture of them. And I'll talk about the rumors. I'll go in depth on my thoughts, what's good about the rumors, what's bad about the rumors, and specifically pertaining to the Republic fighter tank and this idea that I had seen a lot on the comment section and the LEGO Reddit of that you can't have an opinion on something that there is only one picture of. And it was about the Republic fighter tank and about my video about the Republic fighter tank. And what I found really fascinating about this is my original video on the Republic fighter tank was very obviously a negative, like, this set, I don't like it. In the thumbnail, it says so bad, right? That is my video about the Republic fighter tank, or at least my initial reaction. If you're not looking for an initial reaction, I'm not sure why you're watching an initial reaction video and why you're not waiting for a review video. What you'll notice is all of my review videos are titled blandly. There is no special hamming it up in the thumbnail. There's no this is good, this is bad. This is a review. There is nothing, like, it is as straightforward as it gets when you get to that level of a product for my content. However, when it comes to making a video about the first picture of a set, this is something I do all the time. People always talk about things, especially when it's the first picture. Why would they not talk about them and give opinions on them? Of course they're not final opinions. It's a first impression. It's the first picture we've all seen. Like, why are we thinking that it's some final stamp of approval on whether or not the set is good or bad? It's an initial reaction. And so my point to this is, nobody complained or cried about it on Reddit that I had an opinion about a set when the Dark Trooper set got leaked. The one picture of the Dark Trooper set got leaked. I put out a video about that saying it was better than expected and that looked very good. And in case you were curious, that video received 160,000 views, and my video talking bad about the Republic fighter tank that gets more clicks got 164,000 views. I would argue that that is not a substantial difference that is driving my opinion on LEGO sets. It is clearly not a big difference. You know, it could go either way of like what, you know, the reasons for why that is, but it's clearly not because I said this set is bad, it got me 4,000 more views, and that's why I said the set was bad. That's not true. I just don't like the way the fighter tank looks. And if we go back to the beginning of November when the UCS AT-AT leaked, my first video on that has about 100,000 views. I uploaded another one the same day with 150,000 views, both of which very obviously overly positive because the UCS AT-AT is one of the greatest sets of all time. And no one seemed to have an issue with me reacting to that set when there was only one picture of it. So in summary, I'm going to continue to talk about LEGO sets the way I want to talk about LEGO sets because I think it's important someone continues to put out their honest opinions that isn't sponsored by LEGO and has to worry about LEGO taking something away from them. Speaking of LEGO taking things away from them, Smalls says, did you see the LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga Gonk Power Droid puzzle box? It appears that 100 were sent to YouTube video game-centric channels. Seems like this is the kind of rare LEGO Star Wars item that would be right up your alley. Love the videos. Keep up your great work. This is absolutely something that looks so cool to me. I can't get over how cool this is. And this, to be clear, was sent out by Warner Brothers, not LEGO. It kind of infuriates me for pretty obvious reasons. For the last 3 or 4 years, I have had the most viewed LEGO Star Wars YouTube channel month over month, just unquestionably. It's not even close to whoever's second, like getting views on a monthly basis for LEGO Star Wars content. And, you know, obviously I have to thank the viewers for that. I kind of do a lot with LEGO Star Wars and feel like it should have been sent to my doorstep, but regardless, I am going to try to track one down and buy one. I want one. I think it'd be cool to collect. You know, they are being sent to completely random people, essentially, from what I can tell. Like, we're talking about, like, vlog channels and makeup. I don't know, like, really out there things that have nothing to do with LEGO Star Wars, and it just disappoints me. And so what happened 4 years ago is Warner Bros. Actually very nicely sent me the LEGO Marvel Superheroes 2 box for that game, and I was like really excited about it. It was one of the first times, you know, a company had sent me a thing, and like they're like getting stuff like that early on in my YouTube channel, or early-ish, I guess I was still 8 years into it, right? It was like really exciting. And then of course over time I had grown to realize the truth of all of it, and it was that I was nothing but an afterthought. And it really sucked because, and especially now looking at it, is like as a smaller YouTube channel, I was never really given too much by LEGO, and now as a bigger LEGO channel, same deal, but I now look at a lot of the smaller LEGO channels that LEGO just hands things and bends over backwards for, and it's like, man, if they had been sending me stuff when I had 10,000 subs, I mean, I think things would be a lot different, right? You know, like, it just, I can't help but have it creep in my mind, and it sucks that it is that way, but it is. So the point being with this Marvel box, though, they sent it to me 6 months after everyone else, and I know. I got the box. It is a hard thing to get. I'm sure there are a lot of people that would appreciate it, and it is something that I can now use to hopefully maybe trade for that Gonk Droid thing, which I actually want, unlike the Marvel box. So if anyone has a Gonk Droid that would be willing to trade for this Marvel box, I am open to talks 100%. I would love to make the trade. Thanks for your question, Smalls. I do really want the Gonk Droid, but it is going to be a difficult thing to track down, especially if there's only 100. Martin says, I'm a businessman and I've explained these constant negative situations and interactions with LEGO to other business owners I know. Is it possible that LEGO is intentionally using some sort of reverse psychology to keep people engaged, or do you really think that they are this clueless? If it is reverse psychology, they are doing an excellent job. They have got me hook, line, and sinker. I am fully invested. However, I feel like I know them pretty well, and I know that basically the reason that things are the way they are is because like 5 or 6 people are just bad at their jobs, and that's the way I see it. So if it was that way, I would, you know, round of applause, but probably not. Logical Potato says, do you think LEGO will make an aviation line of sets, kind of like the Ford Mustang, but for airplanes? I would kill for a P-51 Mustang. I think that's a fighter plane, right? P-51 Mustang? That's definitely not going to happen. However, they've done like a Boeing airliner, which I really want to get for my collection. I've wanted it since I saw it in the catalog as a kid when I was like 9 or 10, and I think it was only $100 at the time, which I would happily pay for now, but I couldn't afford it at the time. But yeah, that sort of thing, it would be really cool because that model especially is really outdated and old looking. It was like a Boeing 747 Dreamliner or something, and I don't know. Airplanes generally all look the same, I would say. Like, I know there's some unique ones like cargo versus passenger, but like, it's a tube with wings. I don't know how much you can do with that. I would love to see a set or two, though. I don't know about a whole line with them, but a set or two would be nice. Trey Rick says, do you wear makeup when in front of the camera? No, I have never worn makeup. However, I do wear my Manscaped underwear, and that brings us to today's sponsor, Manscaped. Manscaped provides premium grooming tools and products that are trusted by more than 4 million men around the world. Their Manscaped Ultra Premium Collection is an all-in-one skincare and hair kit to keep you smelling fresh even after your sweatiest Lego building sessions. I know they can get pretty intense sometimes. This range features their newest products for your butt, balls, and body all in one package. All of Manscaped's products in the Ultra Premium Collection are cruelty-free, paragon-free, and vegan, and can be ordered with their peak hygiene plan so you never run out. Go to manscaped.com now and use the promo code ONSCREEN to save 20% off your order, plus free international shipping straight to your door, completely hassle-free. Thank you again to Manscaped for sponsoring this video. And on to the next question from the Padres. He says, do you think that there will ever be an affordable way to get a hold of all the Knights of Ren? The affordable way was that they were all available at the same time on shelves, and I cannot imagine them ever selling them in a cheaper fashion than that. So the first reason being, there is not going to be another time where the Knights of Ren, unless they get their own movie or something weird happens, 10 years down the line or something, where all 6 are an important part of something, and so they all need to be re-released again. Otherwise, the sets that they were just in over the past couple years are going to be the only sets that they may ever be in. I just can't see the Knights of Ren ever all 6 fitting into new sets farther down the line. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, they're hardly going to make sequel sets going forward. They're doing like one a year. I don't even think there are going to be any this year. I think you get the point that the Knights of Ren, like, they had their time for LEGO Star Wars and now they've kind of been passed on. There are figures from LEGO Star Wars that haven't been done in over 20 years, and the Knights of Ren very likely will end up in that category. I just don't see a reason that they're going to need to be re-released. They were available when the movies were as popular as they'll ever be, so ultimately the cheapest way to get all 6 Knights of Ren was to buy them when they were available, or maybe go on eBay right now or Bricklink and you can maybe get them together for like $150 altogether for just the figures without the sets. But the affordable way was the way that they were available just now. There will be no cheaper way. There's no way. Noah Whitty says, what would you estimate the value of your entire collection is? So I keep my collection up to date on Brickset, and they say the retail value of all the sets I own is $65,522. However, that is not what my collection is worth because there are so many different items that they don't have retail values for. Like Cloud City Boba Fett is worth like $2,000 now. However, as far as this count is concerned, they don't count that, right? They only count what the original set cost. The original set that came in only cost $100, and therefore only $100 goes into that. So I could imagine that number being like 4 times what it says there, especially given the appreciation of a lot of these LEGO Star Wars items that have become super rare. Or even I've bought a lot of like super rare things like Yoda Chronicles set. Like there's a lot of things like that Yoda I own isn't counted type of thing. Like that's, at least $500 because that's what I paid for it. But yeah, there's a lot of things in there that's not counted. So I would imagine it to be like $200,000+, which is pretty absurd. Ryan says, is it possible for you to make a video without mentioning the UCS gunship? Well, I think I was doing pretty good in this video until right now, so apparently not. David says, old guy AFOL here, but not tall, says, you talked about the most Star Wars sets released. It got me thinking about minifigs. What would you say is the most produced LEGO Star Wars minifig? My thoughts are either Luke Skywalker and or R2-D2. It would be interesting to find out. So I'm not going to do the same research I did for the last one, because it'd probably be a lot more work. However, I would imagine your 2 guesses are pretty on point. R2-D2 is the only character that has been in at least one LEGO Star Wars set per year for every year of LEGO Star Wars. And whenever Luke Skywalker shows up, there's usually an R2-D2 with him anyway. But I would imagine R2-D2 is probably the character in the most sets. The only person that could compete with that is probably Luke Skywalker. maybe Darth Vader, but I don't think Darth Vader even comes close. So I should do a video on this. Like, I think it would be interesting just to do some statistics on like what minifigs and sets show up the most, just like in a more formal way. So yeah, but I think R2-D2 is the ultimate answer. Donnie wants to know how you would define new and used sets. I know the actual definition, but would you consider a set built and displayed and resold complete with minifigures as new? No, the only way I would consider a set as new is, one, if it's in the box. Obviously, if it's sealed in the box, it's new. Even if the box is destroyed, it's still sealed in the box, whatever, the set is new. You can still call the set new, I think, if it's out of the box, but the bags are still sealed. The parts are still new. I think as soon as they come out of the bags, I don't really think you can, in good faith, call that new. You can call it like new or perfect condition, nearly new, just opened, built once for one day. Like, I think that's perfectly fine. Like, even with the way I'm storing my Republic fighter tank, right? Like, I took my fighter tank out of the box, I made my review of it, and I put it immediately into a box where it can't get dusty at all. It's still not new. It's technically used. It was lightly, very lightly used, and there's definitely, especially with LEGO sets where some of them are going to be played with by kids, a vast spectrum of how used can look. Specifically, if you're trying to sell things, which I would assume you are, because otherwise I don't really think it matters, I would not call something new unless it's still sealed. I would, call it like new or really, really good condition, whatever you want to describe it as. And I've bought LEGO sets like that before. I think the UCS Darth Maul and the UCS Yoda that I bought them out of the bags and out of the box. However, the parts were just brand spanking new. I still wouldn't call that set new, but the parts were as good as new, and so you can get away with describing it like such, but I wouldn't call it straight up new. Hopefully that helps. Ultimate Joey says, during those clips of young MandR, I was cringing so hard and verbally requesting out loud for you to stop. Are you talking about these clips?
I can almost guarantee it will be unfinished when I hit 1,000 subscribers, because of the fact that I'm not making a ton of money from AdSense. I'm only getting paid like every 2 months because I'm not making enough for them to pay me. Because you have to have at least $100 made before they pay you, so it takes 2 months for that now. Got my trusty Sharpie pen marker that I like a lot. I got €5 for when I never go to Europe. Definitely going to spend that.
Arjun says, I just noticed from the video that the set Betrayal at Cloud City is worth over $750 in the US, but I live in the Netherlands and I can buy a sealed set for €420. A lot of sets cost more in the US than in Europe and vice versa. How is this possible? I don't really know, but I would assume that, depending on the region, some sets stay on shelves longer, which definitely has an effect. That is a fact that happens, and I don't know exactly why. Maybe just different regions are interested in things more or less based on their price sort of thing. It's hard to know exactly. However, I know that is a thing, and that definitely could affect the price. And part of the reason that prices in one region can be lower than, the US, let's say, is because of shipping. The US is a really big market with a lot of demand, and a lot of people won't buy, including myself. I usually won't buy things from overseas, even if they cost less, because shipping is going to end up costing a lot, or it's going to take a long time. There's a lot of factors for why things overseas might move more slowly, even at lower price points like that. So I think that can definitely factor in. And then another thing is some of those sellers don't actually ship to the US. So whenever I go on Bricklink or eBay or whatever, I make sure I click that they ship to the United States, because if they don't, well, I can't buy it anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's cheaper. So I think on a surface level, that's why. I really don't know the hard research, or there probably isn't any, but like the hard data on why exactly, but I just can only imagine it's some conglomeration of what I just listed. Walter Gary wants to know, what was the first video that did very well and made you get more known in the LEGO space? I always, for the longest time, thought of that as Drop Test. Like I mentioned last week, Drop Test actually didn't have that big of an effect on my channel as it is today. Most people don't think of MandRproductions for Drop Test, but back in 2012, I kind of felt that way. I don't really think of it as there is a video that has put me on the map. I think if there's anything, I think this series in particular has been really beneficial for my channel, shockingly, because it is a series that I almost stopped like 5 episodes in. But I also know that I think the comment, or like what I get told the most, because it is one of my most viewed videos anyway, is that LEGO meme sets is how a lot of people say they found my channel originally. And those videos have done really well. I need to make an updated one this year, but I think LEGO meme sets, if I had to pick one, would be the one that I would say put me on the map, because it's the one I get the most comments saying it's how I found you. Vampire Squid says, I can guarantee with 100% certainty that there will never be another official Jango Fett Slave 1. Jango Fett's Starship, on the other hand, is a possibility. And I agree, it most certainly is a possibility. Is it a good one? Is it a bad one? that's up in the air right now. It's just a possibility, so we'll see going forward. Thank you guys for watching episode 216 of Ask MandR Productions. If you enjoyed, hit the like button. If you have a question for next week's episode, leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you guys check out this week's sponsor, Manscaped, with the link in the description down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.